Hello and welcome back to Iron and Tentacles, an Achtung, Cthulhu actual play podcast. We are back. If you're joining us in sequence of podcasts, last week our players here introduced their characters. We got to understand a little background of how they built their characters, and we did a little role play introductions as they were heading to Chicago to Majestic Training. And at the end of the episode, we found out that they'll be going to a ladies' baseball game. So a little history for the folks maybe that are listening to us that aren't American. During the wartime, most of our baseball players and men were either working in factories or off in World War II overseas fighting in the war, as I'm sure most of yours were as well in the countries that you're living in. And during that time, in order to keep morale up and keep everyone at home going, the baseball owners decided to start an all-women's league, and that kind of substituted our national baseball itch during that time. There's a very famous movie, League of Their Own, that kind of chronicles some of this, and a good chunk of that is real. The main actress there, what is it, Gina Davis? She plays Dottie Henderson, I think her name is, and she was an actual baseball player. That's a real person that played for the Rockford Peaches. And just this is one of those things. One of the glories of living in upstate New York is the Baseball Hall of Fame is not too far from where I live, so it's a very short.
It's a cute little town. Yeah, it's a cute town.
Cooperstown, New York, is where the Baseball Hall of Fame is, and it's pretty cool. So anyways, so we're headed to I kind of told Louisa, I apologize ahead of time, there's going to be a very American scenario that we're going to be playing in. It's 4th of July at a baseball game, and so I'm excited about it. I love sports, I love baseball, and so this was kind of a no-brainer. I don't want to tell my players here the name of this scenario because it actually gives away what happens, but we'll talk about it at the end. But this is actually a scenario from Modiphius. You could go to their website and get this scenario. This is something that they wrote that we'll be telling our own story on top of. And this is kind of, I'm using this as an introduction to our players and to our story. This isn't the main story. This is kind of, our players are in training still, various levels of training wherever their particular character's at, and this is maybe something that happened while they were in training, and so the next few episodes will be all about this baseball game, which I'm very excited about. What about you guys? Anybody have a favorite baseball experience?
So I got to go to a baseball trip. It was actually with the Orioles in Baltimore when I was in 8th grade. Whole 8th grade's on this trip up there. Fantastic. We're nosebleed seats. And it's one of those games that, because baseball will do this, went 17 innings.
Oh my God.
They start pulling people out who have never played before, like people who are on the roster, but so you see the guy who has a 0.000 hitting average gets his first hit, so now he's at 1,000. We're 8th graders. This is amazing to us. We think this is the greatest thing in the world. But for some reason, they're still serving beer. So the guys who somehow have the seats behind us, because we're like 3 rows from the top. Yeah, it wasn't nice. So the 3 rows from the top, they're drinking heavily. So at this point, they are sloshed. Well, they start spilling beer on kids. And so my 8th grade math teacher, who I love her to death, but she was a big woman. She was a big, broad-shouldered woman. She was a catcher. Like, she definitely could have mauled some people. So they moved the kids. They spilled the beer on her. Next thing I know, there's some hands, there's some slapping around, there's some yelling. We watch the police officers have to walk up all 400 flights of stairs to get to us. Like, we see them coming from a mile away. Our teachers, of course, form ranks around the kids and then to make us sure we're safe. There's like 150 of us. We would riot on command if they'd wanted it. And so these drunks get escorted out of the park, which means that somehow the police have to walk them down the 400 flights of stairs without dropping them because they're going to die if they fall. Greatest baseball experience
That's
ever.
on them. That's on
Wow.
Yeah. Now I've done like the major parks. I mean, I've done the Braves and well, the 3 Braves parks now in Atlanta. Of course, you go to Chicago because you have to. You go to Wrigley Field. The Blues Brothers demands it. Those kind of pieces. I've never had enough money to afford the Red Sox nor the Yankees.
I was lucky. I knew a person who knew a guy, and I got some Yankees tickets. So I got to see this is actually my big baseball memory. So I got to go to Yankee Stadium, and I got to see Jeter play in what ended up being, I think, his last season.
Oh,
so I
great.
didn't know at the time that it was his last season, but then he retired shortly after that.
Yeah. Louisa, have you been to a baseball game? I think you said you had, right?
Yes. Yeah, I got to see in 2013. Me, my dad, and my brother went to New York for a break, and we got to see Mets versus Yankees.
Nice. That's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's
and
a great
then
game. Subway Series.
Yes, Subway Series. That's the one. Yeah. And then Mets won. Which
Good.
is disappointing.
Love the
but
Mets.
great, I guess.
Hate that. Shut it down.
Okay, I'm not taking sides. We just went for the experience. And then in much the same way that the NFL has started doing games outside the US in London, they've now started doing that for baseball. So me, my dad, and my brother went again a few years ago, and it was Yankees versus Red Sox at I think it was the Olympic Stadium in Stratford.
That's awesome.
And that was really cool. Yeah. So that was. Yeah, I should have. If I'd known, I would have worn the hoodie with it on. So yeah, that was a real World Series, I guess, because they actually got to come and play outside. And then I wanted to go and see this summer. It was the Cubs, because when we were in Chicago in March, I went into Chicago on the Saturday, and the first stadium show round of Wrigley Stadium was on the Sunday. And I was really gutted that I missed it. So I'll have to come back and
Wrigley's an amazing
experience. It really is.
But I was like on my own, and it was snowing, and I was like, so I went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art instead.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I've never been to Chicago when it didn't snow, and that includes the summertime. So
an authentic experience.
I think, and I love it's just one of those things, I think for you guys it's soccer, football, right? Like it's just one of those things that's so ingrained into our culture. Like I don't know, I love baseball. We have the local team that we try to catch at least half a dozen times during the summer, and I just it's great. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, we have to do that. Like some of my favorite things in the world, doing an RPG, a podcast, and talking about baseball. Like how could I lose?
But Jay, you're an upstater, so what's your team of choice?
Mets. Mets. Yeah. Mets.
The views expressed by Jay do not represent the views of all.
Views on well, you're from downstate
New York
originally, but like,
Yes.
The best thing that's happened is Louisa in England, like you guys, your local teams are the teams, right? And so you can go to them and go watch a team. I mean, I know some people like some of the bigger teams, but they're pretty accessible for the most part because they're right in the same town they've always been in, and that's where they are. And for the most part, right?
It's your local team, and then it's usually a lot cheaper to go than it is to go to the Premier League.
So for us, our local team is like it's like a farm team for the bigger teams. So we have the Syracuse Mets, which is the farm team for the New York Mets. So sometimes if there's like it'd be like if Messi was playing down on like a lower team because he had to like work out a sprained ankle or something. And so we have the opportunity for cheap to sometimes see major league players play just in our own backyard because they're on the farm team for a little while to heal up or something.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I don't have any good baseball stories to top any of the ones that were here, but Bill Sterling was born in Boston, and he has a deep memory, core memory. As a 6-year-old, his parents took him, and he was able to see the Boston Braves win the 1914 World Series.
Oh,
so
nice.
Nice.
He's a lifelong Boston Braves fan.
I like that
coming to this game.
Hey, and don't forget to put your names, your character names into the thing for me so that I know who I'm calling on. Because
I had done that before. I forgot that it changes it
It's all right.
Yeah, I click that
Every
save
episode.
button, Tim. I click that save button.
All
I-
the
you know,
out of
no,
all
it's
the
when
things I have going on, I'd like that to be automatic for me. So
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So
While they do this, I will say, because when we talk about America and the difference in travel time. So I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is about 4 hours away from the nearest team, which is Atlanta, or Cincinnati if you go north, or 8 hours from DC if you got a team out there, or about 7 hours from St. Louis. So like it's always a weird mix of what people like here for their major leaguers. But we do have a farm team. You know, we got the I think we have triple A or double A something. I'm not really sure who they go for.
Smokies.
Yeah, Smokies. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, audience. I tried to steer us back towards the RPG.
That's-
but
Yeah, it's
we're still talking about
I
American
love
baseball,
baseball
and personal
God,
experiences.
I love it so much. It's fine. All right.
Louisa, did you look up Cracker Jacks while we were in between episodes?
Oh no, I didn't. No, I'll do it later. I'll do it after this episode.
It's just basically caramel
It's kettle
popcorn.
It's kettle corn. Yeah, it's kettle corn.
with
That's
like
all it is.
peanuts in it.
Listen, this is American tradition, sir.
So
We're
good.
sharing it with the world.
Yeah,
Yep.
kettle corn. That's it.
All right. Well, how about we get started? All right. It's a all right. So as we last left our players and characters, they were in the common area at their lodge while on training, and found out that they had tickets to the Rockford Peaches on Saturday, July 4th, and they're heading off. So let's start. It is the 4th of July. It's America's Independence Day, as some of you may or may not know. And we're at Bayer Stadium. It's where the Rockford Peaches played. It's a rather quaint baseball field, more suited for like a school team, like a high school team, rather than like a professional team. You know, they didn't play in the regular major league fields. They played in these other smaller fields. And you know, Rockford, Illinois is probably an hour or two outside of Chicago. So this summer, we're hosting the Rockford Peaches are hosting the Kenosha Comets, which is a great matchup. And you know, right now the air around you is buzzing, energized by the biggest crowd that the stadium's ever seen. And right now, the field and rows of simple wooden stands are swarming with 6,000 noisy fans. There's veteran soldiers on leave. There is dedicated entertainers and organizers from the United Service Organization, or the USO, are there. Snack vendors are trying to sell all their Cracker Jacks and hot dogs, and you know, shouting over the playful screams of the children and the laughter of adults. Many of the folks in attendance are searching for a distraction, you know, from the impending war and the world issues that are going on. It's very hot. It's a late afternoon, really sunny. Only a hint of some distant gray clouds on the horizon. And as the ball game nears a starting time, two teams jog out the dugout and onto the field, and the women press their hands to their hearts and wait. As the crowd quiets over the next minute, and then at last, public announcement speakers crackle to life, and you can hear the warm, inviting small-town drawl of a man announcer echoing across the field. Now, I'm not going to do that drawl because I'm going to do something different, but good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming today. Welcome to the Bayer Stadium Independence Day baseball game. I'm Henry Hoople of the Hoople Hour, and I'd like you now to please welcome our star women baseball players from our home team, the Rockford Peaches, and the visiting team, the Kenosha Comets. And a very special welcome to none other than President Franklin Roosevelt. Mr. President, sir, let me say that we are honored that you decided to spend your Independence Day with the good people of Rockford, Illinois, the best city in America. When the announcer finishes his introduction, the president turns to face the crowd, and he stands with difficulty from his wheelchair with the help of Secret Service that are standing around him. He smiles with a big cigar in his mouth and gives the crowd a big friendly wave, and the stadium erupts in cheers. And the PA speaker crackles again. And now, please rise for the national anthem. So the crowd rises and joins joins the women's baseball players, pressing their hands on their hearts. The PA speakers nearly burst with abrasive sound as the Star-Spangled Banner begins to play. Not the song abrasive, but the sound of the speaker.
Hey man, whatever.
That was poorly written.
Whatever you want to use the podcast for, man.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So as they do, everyone joins in the singing, and you would probably say out of all the, for those of you that have been to American baseball games, this might be the most patriotic you've ever heard a crowd sing. You probably think maybe because the president's there or what's on the horizon as far as world events. And then as it ends, I'm not gonna make everybody listen to the whole thing. You hear Henry Hoople. Yeah, have Henry Hoople come back over the speakers once the Star-Spangled Banner ends. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's play ball. All right, so we're gonna get you guys going here.
I didn't make a baseball character, Jay. I wasn't ready for this.
So if you take a look at your screen, so for those of you listening, I'm sharing a screen with the players here, and we're going to make this available on our Patreon. For those of you that are interested, you can subscribe to our Patreon, and also in addition, all the sound effects and music that you'll be hearing throughout this mission, I have a Spotify playlist that I'll also be making available on our Patreon for those of you that want to use this for your own home adventures. So, all right. Now, whatever you may have put on your character sheet as far as weapons aren't going to be with you today. You should be lightly armed, so no armor or weapons outside of
didn't walk into the Illinois baseball stadium with an SMG and grenades and a revolver and demolition kit. Okay.
Is that not how you normally go to baseball games?
Yeah.
So if you have like a knife
Baltimore sometimes,
or blade or small firearm, this would be okay. As long as
I've got a concealed handgun and a garrote. I feel like this is exactly where I'd be carrying it.
Yeah.
We'll get those Red Sox fans.
Okay, so I would say you guys are sitting, if you're looking at the picture of the stadium here that I have up, you're sitting probably right to the left of the Rockford Peaches dugout. So on the left, to the left, you're probably like
on the third baseline for our audience.
Yeah, exactly. Third baseline
past the dugout a little bit.
Cool.
And you're probably right on the field. I would say they got you would say really good tickets. You're feeling happy about that. You're near the announcer's booth, and you're on the opposite side of where the president is.
President.
What?
It's a typo. It says president's box.
President. Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't do this. So
we don't infringe on the Franklin Delano Roosevelt typo.
So let's say
very litigious.
You guys are working. You came in through the entrance, and you can see this picture here in the middle with the two. You're kind of working down and to the left, and you're trying to get to your seats. And what order do you guys think you'd be? Who would be leading with the tickets in their hands to get you to your seats?
I feel like
it would be me. I think
it would be Ben's character. Yeah, I think it would be Winfred.
I mean, I'd have my sports jacket over my arm because we're wearing our summer suit. Have a nice door on there. Still a tie because I'm still, of course, a gentleman. But I imagine I would be leading us our way, and as we're headed towards our seat, I already motioned to the guy with the drinks and the Cracker Jacks. Reach in my pocket, pull out some ones.
All about the Cracker Jacks.
All right. So as you're making down your seat, there is a man standing towards third base side on the left side of the Rockford Peaches dugout with a camera, and wants to know if you guys would want to stop for a picture.
I'm going to politely decline and raise my hand up and say I'd rather not. Thank you.
Yep. Is he within medium range?
Oh God!
You shoot him?
Oh, I'm not gonna shoot him.
Yeah, for sure.
Flash will cover the sound. Yeah.
All right. I would like to. I'm going to reach out and attempt a telepathy mind reading check to see what's on the surface of his mind.
All right,
can people see that happen? Like, does it produce magic waves?
How does this work?
Visible?
No. So it's difficulty 2, opposed by the target's will and resilience. Cost increases by 3. Once again, I'm doing the hardest one first.
Yeah.
I just imagined his head exploding.
Like a melon.
It's just like Gallagher melon.
That's up to Jay. The second attempt is to probe the mind of a single person or creature within. Oh, it has to be close range.
Oh,
is he close range?
No.
Okay, never
mind. Well, no. All right.
There you go. Never mind.
So, you guys take your seats, and it's the top.
So, anyone who's not looking sees Bill kind of pause and stare at the man. And then just shake his head off and follows the rest of you to the seats.
I would say I would like to be on the end seat.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. There you go. So the game begins. And it looks like Rockford's up to bat, and Kenosha's up to bat, and Rockford is in the outfield. And you can hear Henry Hoople from the oh, and we have strike 1, a low fastball. And so he's calling out the calls from the booth. And yeah, we're on the baseball. Everything's going pretty well. Nothing out of the ordinary. And at the bottom of the first, Rockford is up to bat. And the Comets, so maybe I'll do this as Henry Hoople. We have the Comet star pitcher, Sally Horace, dominating with 3 strikes out in a row against Rockford. So no points this inning. So that's the end of inning 1. So we go to the second inning.
Winfield Salter, by the way, this entire time has been talking to Betty, pointing out the pieces of the game, what's going on here, what's working there.
Yeah.
Perfect. In modern terminology, it would be a sort of mansplaining, but in the 1940s, it's seen as very charming.
I suppose there's sort of Betty doesn't mind too much, because also this is so completely new to her that actually she does appreciate on some level. She is like really excited by this. She's like she's eating all the snacks that she's offered. She wants to drink the beer. I don't know if they have beer at baseball. You did say
the only way you get through 9 innings. Yes.
Yeah. She's drinking the beer. You'll notice that, like, for the first time you've seen her out of her what you call her scruffs. So normally she'd wear trousers or shorts. Today she's actually wearing like a really little pretty sundress. Which sets off, she's got quite a chic hairdo, which you wouldn't expect from, I guess, like a Brit. You're quite intrigued why she's quite chic. You'll notice that even though the dress looks quite simple, I guess Salter would probably, if he's used to spending time with a certain class of people, notice that this dress is maybe not as simple as it seems. It's quite well cut. It's very good quality. But maybe it's only something that he might notice if he was around more upper class members of society.
He sees and recognizes.
Game sees game,
And Bill is tolerating Charlie.
Charlie's just sitting here, man. He's just observing a baseball game, saying this American sport. How about that? Some Canadians sometimes play. Is that right?
Not any more muttering about how it's a trap and we're all gonna die.
No, Charlie is definitely on alert though, like looking around, because like he does not trust that this is just not that this is not just a baseball game. Doesn't think that, but just like that there's a reason that we're here for some reason.
Yeah. Now, Bill, while chiding him for the overtness of that, also is a keen observer of things going on.
Okay. Can you guys hear the background noise?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. All right. So we go into the second inning. Something happened. Yeah.
It's a glory thing about a baseball game is nothing's really important until it's important. Right. So half of it's just chilling out and enjoying the day with your friends.
That's right.
Strike. Yeah.
So as the second inning comes, you guys can start to see just some distant clouds, like maybe a storm's coming through. You had seen on the weather, heard or weather report or read in the newspaper. I don't actually know how they did weather reports.
Farmer's Almanac.
But that maybe there was a storm heading in today, and so this doesn't seem unusual. You could see the clouds in the distance. All right. So as you're sitting there, let's say we got a hot dog vendor. A hot dog vendor appears, and once
I'm so glad we have a picture of the hot dog vendor.
buy hot dogs.
God forbid.
There's pictures of
terrified.
lots of stuff. I'm trying to help you guys here.
I
You
think
know,
he
at
looks like a
close range?
Costco worker.
Who is he? He's a young Dick Portillo. Hot dog buyers.
Making his way. Yeah.
This is Dick Portillo's father.
You want to try my
first?
cake? Yeah.
And he wants to know if you guys want hot dogs. Hot dogs. Hot dogs.
I
Here.
would take a hot dog.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I'll have a hot dog, please, love.
And Winfield will big man it, reach into his wallet, pull out the money, hand it over to him.
All right. So
Thank you, Winifred.
you guys each take a dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So Kegan, back
Oh,
to your
yeah.
question. He's handing out the hot dogs. He's definitely at close range. If you wanted to try something.
Yeah, let's just try to read his mind real fast.
Sure. So
Just
what is
go
this?
for it.
What do you roll for this? I'm not.
Hold on. I want to know, what is your motivation for reading this hot dog vendor's mind? What's going through your character's mind?
You're suspicious of everything while we're here. Bill also wants to keep a good awareness, just looking
Okay.
around, knowing what's going on.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I failed that roll. So
What was the roll? So what is it? What are your?
maybe I
I'm
didn't.
sorry.
Okay, yeah.
attribute
So
skills.
yeah, so I am. I roll will, I think, for my spells now. Yes, I
That makes
roll
sense.
will.
Yeah.
So and oh wait, maybe I didn't. No, I
You
did.
got this.
I've got a focus in instincts, and so my spell, both my telepathy spell and my other one use observation as the skill.
Okay.
So I needed to roll a 14 or better.
Okay.
We're below. We're below.
Below.
Right.
Below.
Yeah.
Below.
Yeah.
Better in this game's context is below.
Right.
So
No, I'm just making
saying the
sure.
same
Making
thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I rolled a 5, a 16, and a 17. So I was very close. But it's a difficulty 2. It's normally an opposed check.
Yep.
Against their resilience of will, I think.
Yeah.
But since I failed, probably nothing. You
Okay.
don't need to do anything else.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I could tell you. Yeah. He passed.
Okay.
But anyways, even if you just a little inside baseball, if you will. Okay. So yeah. So I mean, as far as you know, let's say, because I hate it when like it's like, oh, it just didn't work. I mean, you know how to do this. So let's just say you're like, oh, I'm not getting anything. He's just a hot dog vendor, right? Like I think
Yep.
that's
Yeah. There you
that's
go.
Your,
Yeah.
your kind of read on that, right?
Yeah.
Oops.
And I take a little bit of extra stress for the cost of that
I
because
thought you were going to say mustard. He gives me extra mustard. I got him, boys.
the cost
That
of
would be
that cost of the spell is normally 1. Doing the mind reading version of it is 3, an extra 3, but I've got a courage of 1. So
There you go.
for
All
anyone
right.
keeping track at home of my stress meter.
So yeah, so he turns around and is turns around and he's kind of going to the next aisle over. And you guys gonna eat the hot dogs?
Yes.
Do they look
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna need each of you to make a will observation test. It's a
Are they
difficulty.
Chicago dogs?
It's a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Will observation. No.
So remind me for rolling for these things. This is a D20 roll. Yes.
2d20.
2d20.
Yeah, two D20s.
You add your will and observation together, and then you need to roll under that number for a success.
Your will and observation. So your observation, like how many numbers you have. So like I have 3 ranks of observation.
Correct. So that's a
Okay.
3, and then
So that's 3 plus my will is an 8.
Yep. So yours.
Okay.
So it would be 13 or 11.
Okay.
11.
I think I missed an opportunity to use critical success, but we don't need to go back.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Success. 1 success, 1 fail.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
failed.
Rude.
But it was difficulty 2.
Difficult too. Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
What do we use? Do we use focus for rerolls or something?
You could
that's-
use.
okay.
So you don't have any momentum yet. You haven't. You're at 0 momentum as a team. You can use your other. Hold on, the word is coming to me. Fortune. You can use your fortune. To make one of your dice an automatic success, and you have 3 fortune.
Okay, I'm going to use one of my. Bill is disappointed in himself not being able to read a hot dog vendor's mind.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use one of my fortune to make to make the second die a success. So I got 2 successes.
Perfect.
Ben? I rolled a perfect 1 in 20. A critical success and also a critical failure.
Okay.
So 2 successes, 1 failure with complication.
All right, I'm going to give you your complication in a second. Yeah.
Inside every man, there are 2 D20.
Yeah.
Do I eat this hot dog? Do I not?
Louisa, Betty?
Yeah, it was a success and a failure.
Welcome.
So you failed as well. Okay, so Tim, Ben, and Louisa, as you're eating the hot dog, and you're like, yeah, and you look down, you see in your hand a rotten bun, and it's filled with withering worms. Ben, you start to choke.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to roll. I don't know. Let's do a will
resilience.
Yeah, I think a will resilience will do it, and it's gonna be a difficulty of 1.
Ooh, I definitely failed both of those.
I rolled a success. I also rolled a 20.
That's you choke and die. That's it.
So Ben, you're gonna end up taking a stress, I think, for that. Okay. So you think you're choking. Maybe Betty was trying to talk you out. No, you're okay, you're all right. And she's like patting you on the back.
You said will resilience?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Tim. You don't have to roll it. Just Ben, because just Ben because he failed. Because he got a 20. This is his complication.
Gotcha.
So he's choking and coughing. Betty's trying to help him out. You all see, the 3 of you see rotten buns with worms coming out of it. You feel the worms in your mouth. And Bill, you're just eating your hot dog. What do you guys do?
I would spit it out and like cuss it out and look at the other people's hot dogs. Do I see theirs as being rotten and wormy as well?
No.
Interesting. Okay. So I would spit it out, but I would see them coughing too, I guess. So it wouldn't be,
Yeah, Ben for sure.
Yeah. So I would say, like, is yours gross? Like mine's gross? This is disgusting. Is this what American food is?
I forgot you were French Canadian.
I did too. Mostly Canadian, less French, because we could go down that road, but we don't want to go down that road.
He's Canadian, but also happens to spend a lot of time in France. He's not French Canadian. He's
damn straight. Ben gets it. I'm not part of the free city of Quebec. But
Bill looking at with concern at everyone, but also hearing Charlie's little rant about American food, chides him with say cordiality amongst chaos, politeness against perdition. Charlie, now what is going on? What are you all feeling?
Bill, first off, shove that up your ass. Secondly, this is full of. I went to New York again. Sorry, it's full of worms.
I assume I see no worms.
You don't see anything. Yeah, each one of you though, your button, like you see, you like throw it on the ground or whatever. The worms are all like on the ground, like you. It's not stopped. Like you, that's what you see. You fully believe you're eating worms.
I stand up and I motion at the hot dog seller, like, get back over here.
You scout.
As I shove him.
Okay, you yell at him or something. His back's turned to you.
Yeah, hot dog man, get over here, hot dog man.
He throws a weaponized hot dog at you.
As he turns around, you see that instead of the man you saw before, you find a freckled-faced teenage boy, and he's like frightened. He goes, "I'm so sorry, sir. Is something wrong with your hot dog?"
I'll show you the back of my hand, Dick Portillo.
But wait, you would say like that's a different person. So like, do we all see that?
Yep.
Would we all see this is a different person?
Yep.
Okay. So then I'm going to turn to Winfield over here and say, that's not the same guy you bought the hot dogs from.
Boy, where'd that other man go? The older fellow.
What older fella?
The man who was just here. The man who sold me this hot dog.
Probe him, Bill.
I pointed to the ground.
I sold you the hot dog. And he's starting to get real freaked out now because I would assume you're getting a little aggressive with him. And
Absolutely.
Like he's like falling over himself. Like he has no idea what you're talking. He doesn't know what you're talking about.
I didn't survive the Great Depression by the skin of my Hamptons to get this kind of hot dog.
Look, it's okay. This is really off, mate. Have you not? You're not the chap who sold us them. Where is he? Is this what I'm supposed to be experiencing?
I'll go get my boss, Mr. Johnson. I don't know what's happening. And he just kind of like starts running off. Just then you hear the ball hit and you hear somebody behind you yell, "Foul ball!" And they're all kind of like, people are standing up behind you to try to catch it. It's coming right towards you guys.
Towards who specifically? Can we tell?
Can you ever really tell where foul balls
sometimes
come in?
like a general area
in your area? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your row or the row behind you. You would assume it's a high hop fly coming right down.
So I would look up and just try and track it and maybe have. I mean, I don't have a bit, but like.
Yeah, you
can
get hit.
Were you involved in harassing the hot dog guy?
No, I was just
incredulous
at having
Winnie
a hot dog.
Winnie Sattler was Salter. Sattler. I like Sattler better. No, it's all right. You want to try catch it, Tim?
Yeah, I'll try and catch it. That's
Agility athletics test, please.
No, thank you.
It's gonna be a difficulty of 1.
Meanwhile, I'm haranguing the teenager here. That's right, boy. You go get your boss man. I want to see him immediately.
So I want to roll below that.
Yes.
I want to roll below an 8.
Yes.
Wow, am I just really bad at everything right now? I guess that's fine. No, double fail.
Okay. You go to catch the ball. You know, you're like, oh, I've played sports of different kinds. I have hand-eye coordination. I
used to catch grenades in the trenches.
But
That's good.
Your Canadian sensibilities and wherewithal leaves you wanting, and you miss the ball, and it smashes into the face of an old man that was standing just behind you as he wasn't paying attention because he was looking at Winnie haranguing the young freckled teenager. It breaks his nose and knocks out several of his teeth. The old man, he falls over and kind of trips and falls.
Oh God.
As that happened, a couple of the I was not security guards, but like stadium, the people that work at the stadium are coming over and taking a look at him. Does somebody want to roll an observation? Let's see, what is it? Insight observation for me.
I think this is for Bill to take.
That's for Bill.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna observe this using plus I have an instincts focus on this, so rolling 2 on this. All right, that's better. All right, I got a 1, so a critical success, and a 15 in my insight observation. I'm looking for under 16, so I got 3 successes.
Nice.
Okay, so you're gonna bank 2 of those into momentum.
Cool. And that's party momentum, right?
Yep. So the party, that's what the party has. So the crowd's going crazy. Anyways, the crowd's doing the crowd thing. This happens. So these 2 workers, and if you look closely, Bill, you swear that one of them is for sure the hot dog vendor. And it looks almost exactly like him, just with maybe some like slight differences. This time, he's got like maybe his hair is cut differently. But you swear he could be the spitting image for the hot dog vendor.
Okay. Yeah, this time I'm definitely going to I'm gonna try this again now that I got momentum.
Please. And what was it was will a resilience check, right?
Will and resilience, yeah.
Yeah. Difficulty 2.
Yeah, and I'm doing will and observation to try to do it. And I'm gonna spend one of the momentum to add an extra D20 to this.
Okay.
That is better. Because I have focus and instincts for observation, my critical range is higher, so I get a 2. That's a critical success for 2 of them, and I get a 12 and a 14. So that's 4 successes total.
Ooh.
Okay.
And so I guess two.
That's
two
funny.
More momentum.
So he just a little behind the curtain. My roll was a 3 success, so you still beat him by 1. So
nice.
Ooh, got him.
How does momentum work on those opposed to? Do I get the 1 difference to add back?
So you critical, right? So you can either, if you don't need the you need the momentum to beat me. So you spend it now for the roll instead of banking it.
Okay.
So it's momentum banks are over what you needed to get in order to win the roll.
Oh,
but if we tied,
gotcha. Yeah.
I'll the NPC would actually end up winning, but you needed the 4th, so you use it all for this check versus.
Okay, so we don't have any, so no momentum right now. Okay.
No, didn't he have a critical before?
Yeah, we had a bank of 2. I used 1 to add an extra dice to it. I rolled 4.
I got
4 successes.
Yeah. So you got 1.
Which,
you have 1.
Yeah. So 1.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, read me the description of what you're trying to do here, just so I understand.
Yeah, so success reveals the surface thoughts of the target, what they're thinking about at that exact moment, and momentum from this may be spent as per obtain information to delve deeper into the target's mind.
Okay, so surface thoughts are basically, I can't believe this old man didn't see that ball coming. We all saw it coming. I got to get him up. We got to get him out of here. We don't want this on the news.
the pictures.
Yeah, in the paper. Everyone's got that old timey like, hey.
So momentum from this may be spent as per obtain information to delve deeper into the target's mind. So I think I'll spend that other momentum and go and just look a little bit surface. Like, where did he come from? Has he always been?
Cotton Eye Joe.
I was just gonna say, where did he go? Who is he, Cotton Eye Joe?
Well done.
So as you delve deeper, maybe he looks up at you, and you can see his like serious expression on his face. It's like haunted shadows swirling in his dark green eyes. He's very serious expression, and then for a brief moment, you guys are making eye contact and you're trying to delve deeper, and he offers you like a reserved smile, and you see like a little golden tooth here, like right here, like right next to the canine.
I feel like he's going to rob your house one day, but you can pretend to be a cop.
And he smiles at you, and then you kind of like, I don't know, your head's real foggy and you're having trouble focusing.
Ooh.
And maybe you start to shake it off a little bit, like, you're like, oh, shaking it off. And as you shake it off, you come to, it's actually a completely different person.
Ooh.
So not the hot dog vendor anymore.
Nope.
All right.
Ooh.
Who's the closest of us to me?
I don't know.
Is Charlie, you still near me?
Yeah.
Should we move seats at all?
Yeah.
It'd be me. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I put a hand on Charlie's shoulder, trying to settle him down from his distress at missing the ball and hurting this man.
Well, hold on. I didn't hurt him by missing the ball. The ball hurt him. But anyway,
Charlie, there's no time for us to debate the trolley problem. We will. There's something going on.
I was ready for that. You got me.
Just as you start to talk to him.
Yeah.
So this whole time, the storm actually started, the clouds start coming, and it started to be like more of a storm. And maybe you guys weren't paying attention just because of everything that's happening. And right as this happens, you hear a huge crack of thunder. And the storm. And as this happens, you look out into the ball field, and there was a high fly ball and hit out into the outfield, and you see one of the girls going to make the catch, but then looks out into the stadium. Like, so if we're looking, she's probably on the right side of the field, so she's right field, and she's looking back towards the middle. And she's kind of like, she's staring over there as the ball falls and hits her. And that's, I think, where we're going to end it there.
Wait, before we end there, can we see from the stands
second inning?
Can we see what she looks like? Like, did she have like a look of horror on her face or anything?
No, her back's to you.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I missed that part. Okay, gotcha. Okay,
all right.
Okay.
So that's where we're going to end this session.
Mystery in the outfield.
I do love how sketchy this hot dog vendor looks now, and now it all makes sense. Now I get it.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
that hot dog will kill you.
All right.
Mostly the vendor, but yeah, hot dogs stay, 1 year at a time. But yes,
let's wrap it up there, and we'll continue next week. Yeah, you guys feeling good? Feeling scared yet?
No, I feel horrible. I think we're all about to die. That's it.
You never know. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Join us next week.